fist bump, and this is gonna be a fun one to commentate just because it's like looking at the dynamic of these two characters. It's like Yoshi isn't necessarily an aggressive character, but he's a character that kind of forces a lot to happen in short bursts, and Roy is a character that will constantly be applying pressure. So even though this is a more relatively campy start from both players, but you can even see that the amount of buttons that have to be pressed as both of them are poking, and how like high focus and high tension everything is, like as soon as they get like up close, makes it a lot more exciting. So a lot of this match will be happening at close and mid range. It's just going to be a matter of how each of them manage to prioritize each other. Really good forward smash on the punish there. So this is actually probably going to be the hardest part for YAMES. It's just finding how to get to the ground. Yoshi has so many good tools for juggling, like up tilt, up air. Up smash covers a huge arc, so it completely nullifies going to platforms in a lot of cases. Like that, you could even see Mini trying to probably read a wave bounce, if I had to guess. Wave bounce side B is a very common landing option for Roy. Just completely reverses his momentum in the air, which is really good. That tool is going to be used a lot from YAMES. So up B itself doesn't look very impressive, but the fact that it's got so much armor out shield, I believe the armor comes out on frame 7, if I'm not mistaken. So it makes it very reliable if he's getting contested, but whiffing it actually, and Mini gonna take that first stock. Very good down B actually. I like that a lot. So something that Yoshi can do is if he down B's below the ledge, he can grab it without really having a 2-frame window, since he's technically going down while grabbing the ledge, and it allows him to be one of the only characters in the game, I believe, who can technically avoid a 2-frame window while below the ledge. Beautiful pressure from YAMES there. That was really good. It was less about the up airs and more about the timing in between. Everything that he did there was so staggered and so safe that Mini couldn't really find a way to get through or get away. Game still had advantage. Yeah, Mini's not losing the stock. He's holding on to it for dear life. Up throw. I disagree there. I think that at that point you go for forward throw. If you've already staled, it's a little bit hard. This is where YAMES has to be really, really careful. Yeah, Mini completely avoiding going in range of those hilt attacks. Doing an incredible job of just spacing outside like of max fair range, and now he's got a full stock lead on YAMES. So YAMES really needs to turn up if he wants this. So that pressure was a little bit, I think that was a misinput. I think that YAMES probably wanted to land and then do a jump up air, like that. And like you can even see like the second that he hits that up air, if he went for a back air instead of a fair, which also looked like a misinput just because of how Ultimate's buffer system works. Like it honestly, really good punish from Mini on that. That was excellent callback, just seeing the counter come out and instantly reacting with the right option. Counter was very, very well timed. Good forward though from YAMES. I actually very much agree with that, because if Mini DI'd a little bit differently, he could have been put on the platform, and then that's a completely different chase for YAMES. So YAMES extended his advantage just guaranteed off of that, which was really, really good. It's a very, very uncommon idea or concept to throw your opponent towards center stage, but YAMES executing it very well, and excellent recovery there. Mini looking a little desperate for the skill, and good rollout read. A really, really good chase on that. It's kind of hard if you're YAMES in this position, because you have to be like, all right, I had so much momentum, and like now I choked it, but at the same time, he had so much going for him in that game, so he's just got to be able to take that in the game too. I will say I know Joey loves this stage, so I'm curious as to what Mini banned for YAMES to go here, because I know this is honestly a pretty good Yoshi stage.
3, 2, 1, go!
But the lack of space actually does make sense though in Yames' case. It allows him to close distance so much more quickly. And when we were seeing Yames have really good platform pressure and a really high presence on the stage, it was when Mini was on the platform and Yames was able to do a lot of these mix-ups on the rising and falling up airs. And those situations get repeated on small battlefields so much more. So this actually, now that I'm thinking about it, does make a lot of sense on Yames' part. And already we have a much closer game, which is really great. Mini going for the high recovery. That is not the punish that I thought he was going for. I thought he was just going to go for the one jab and a down smash. Yeah, see, right there. So all Yames is doing is finding these rising up airs and going for the falling up airs, and then finding his time to wait. And then the second that he's waiting and Mini gives him an option, he's able to just call that out right away. We saw that with the roll on the platform. Yames was just able to back air it on reaction right away. Something that I actually also will say I disagree with in regards to Yames and his ledge trapping is that when this was great. That actually, what he just did there completely is the opposite of what I was seeing before. Excellent, excellent. Really good, yeah. And that was great because it wasn't staled. So last game we saw that he was finding an up throw at, I believe it was even a higher percent. But because it was stale, oh my god, is that it? No way, he hits him out of the armor. Mini looks really tilted. But it's hard. You got to be able to shake that off though. It's super difficult though. Mini's got that though. By game 3, I know that he's probably going to be in better spirits. Yames just has to kind of play back and just wait for Mini to commit. Because that's the thing that's really, really hard about any characters that have to engage reliably with each other, is that if you're far behind and you need to find something to close the gap and you don't really have any means of building a meter or spacing in with a projectile, the only thing that you can really safely do is get in on your own, which means that Mini has to be making a lot more call-outs, and he has to be, as long as Yames is properly playing the matchup, Mini has to guess so much more. And I actually think that is the biggest thing that Yames is kind of messing up on right now, is that he doesn't have to be engaging the way he is. He's been playing excellently this entire time, and I think that now that he's starting to realize that the game is so close and that he can just kind of find one hit, now he's trying to engage at such a close range that he can't really make anything work. Really, really tough, yeah. Mini trying to do what we saw a little bit earlier from Mo in regards to passing out the iframes from the other person, just kind of getting caught as he was camping. It's really difficult finding a way to pass those iframes without really putting yourself in harm's way, because they have no... Whenever the opponent is coming off the respawn platform, especially if they come down instantly like Yames did, there's genuinely zero reason for them to ever do anything but getting closer to you. The Angel platform allows you to basically spawn in an advantage state, which is something that a lot of people tend to forget.
Start the battle. Roy. Yoshi.
And yeah, that's a really big thing as well, because when people kind of see that, they'll put themselves in the air, and then at that point, if Yames is aware of the fact that Mini is going to be jumping and whatnot and has to just catch a landing, oh, we're running it back. Okay, interesting. Not sure if I agree with this, especially because I know that at minimum we have a few larger stages. We've got, at minimum, Battlefield, Kalos, Yoshi's, and Town. And then again, I mean, you probably don't want Town against... excuse me, you don't want Town against Roy. And then there is no stadium. You also got Hollow, though. But, I mean, Mini shutting me up real quick, though, and putting on a quick 80. Very, very good combo from him. Yeah, Yames is just playing so close to the ledge. It's costing him so much advantage. He's putting himself so close to the ledge and committing to shield so early that it's allowing Mini to find a way past.
All right, so Mini now with Yames off stage. for a really good edge guard right now with those eggs. Honestly, the only problem with edge guarding with egg is that, oh my god, he had his jump! He had his jump!
He did. Yeah. YAMES has been saving that, and we actually saw last game, like, Mini got hit out of double jump armor by Fair, like super early. I think it died at like 30 afterwards.
Oh, wow.
So already
Oh
we've
my
had
God.
two
YAMES
really
is-
unfortunate stock blocks by.
That could have been another loss of double jump
so
armor.
risky with these double jumps off
And
stage.
the problem is that YAMES is playing so smart with how he's recovering, making sure that he could just never get hit. He's playing so patiently off stage with his double jump, using those drift backs. The fact that Roy has that amazing airspeed, it's helping out so much in these close situations, especially with him at such a high percent.
Yeah, it's actually really impressive because YAMES has been making such a good adjustment from last game as well. Last game was had YAMES in a pretty favorable position, very similar to this, almost with I believe it was a 3-stock to 1 lead. And he was kind of rushing his last kill pretty heavily. But right now we're seeing quite the opposite, where he's playing a lot more reserved, and he lived to 190 on that stock, and that's like way better than before.
Especially with a character like Yoshi, who has kill power.
Out the waz. That
Yeah.
character hits with one straight hit, and
Up air, bair, fair, all
Nair.
of those moves are just randomly going to start killing, especially close to like 160.
yeah, YAMES is at 190. He's got so much to work out, but he's got so much to worry about. But at this point, I think this is actually
Big ass told on that roll rate. I mean, YAMES is so patient at ledge too, just reacting to whatever he's doing. He knows that if he pressures Mini close, he's not going to want to be getting up at neutral get up, going for that roll, easily catching it.
when YAMES isn't shielding at ledge and he's letting himself react, he's catching everything, and it's incredible. I genuinely do think it is just a matter of YAMES being confident, because the second that YAMES knows he's in the driver's seat, if he doesn't get out, and Mini can't find a way back, I don't even think Joey is picking anything terribly bad. Like, it's not like he's picking necessarily bad options. It's just that
Up being
YAMES,
through
he's so on top of everything.
the Yoshi up smash. I mean, this game just looks like it might be a wrap at this point. Mini's really going to have
Very
to
smart
pull
counter.
through.
So now we saw something about that counter earlier, is that we saw YAMES trying to go for that counter as a means of reading Joey doing a double jump aerial through the stage. But now, in terms of that one, he was using it reactively.
Oh,
and
good backer from Mini,
amazing
though.
back air.
Not
Really
able
good
to
weight.
pick up the stock. Roy is just barely living every single one of these hits.
It's so difficult. That last interaction too, YAMES didn't have any resources off stage. Joey could have gone, or Mini could have gone for just a fast ball fair.
Oh, that could have been an up air out of shield, I think, on that. That up B's not going to do it, though, just yet. I think Mini might want to start looking for just maybe up air out of shield and maybe even a down B. Those options like a smash attack was like constantly looking for back air is only going to get you so far.
Yeah,
Even
and-
just a one down B.
Can we also look at that interaction before?
Oh, I don't think that up B takes it. I think it's still stale. Yep.
But YAMES walking away from the shield too. YAMES is just playing without shield, without having to feel like he needs to even be in Yoshi's face. And this,
Oh, but there it is. There's that short up air.
exactly. Good call out from on the jump there.
This is a high percent Yoshi, but if it's still Yoshi, Yoshi does not die easily. Not to mention that Yoshi can get out tons of damage very fast, but that forward air looks like it's going to do it. Yep.
Yeah.
Fair takes it over. So yeah, it's going to be YAMES 2-1 over Mini. Very good.
It was actually,
Who won game one?
Joey won game one now.
Mini won game one?
Yeah, Mini won game one.